This is going to be a flip through and a review of the Life of Fred Language Arts series for high school homeschool, and that begins with book A, which is Australia, B, begin teaching, C for classes, and D for dreams. Alright, we'll start with book A. Once again, this is a high school curriculum. I use this with my first child. He has graduated homeschool now, and I'll be using it with my second and third child when the time comes. I'm going to show you the table of contents. At any time, just hit pause so you can look at it a little closer. A lot of this book, it is definitely a high school level. Give you an example of the chapter 1. It doesn't take the same approach as other curricula. The author of these books, Stanley Schmidt, I think at the beginning he says something like high school English as serious as it needs to be, which is definitely a good description. I actually think that he addresses in a lot of his books, the math and the English, he addresses a lot more than just what the book table of contents says. A lot of stuff he addresses. The child will learn a vast array of things. The answers to each chapter are in each chapter at the end. Here, we'll go over chapter 2 here so you can get a good look at that. And they do, you know, it is kind of goofy. I mean, it is still about this kid, Fred. But I think it's a really good approach to just helping the children to learn something while taking a good attitude about it. There's the answers there. And I'm going to skip ahead a few chapters here so we can get a good idea. Alright, here's chapter 15. So it's just a story, and you follow the story all the way through. And I believe Australia starts with, he's obviously in the country of Australia, and a lot of different things happen. So that was the Your Turn to Play. You should always, the child should have a notebook, and that would just be a simple notebook. And then these are the answers for the Your Turn to Play. You would do the Your Turn to Play first on a separate notebook. And then you would turn the page to do the, to check the answers. Now, this is high school, so the child can do these on their own. I still sat with my children and did them. If you are a gentle homeschool and you want to gently homeschool your children, or if you're Charlotte Mason homeschool, these books are definitely the way to go. This is the last chapter in Book A. All right, begin teaching. It's the second book in the language arts series of the Life of Fred. We'll look to the table of contents. You can see here a note before we begin. So sometimes when you look at the table of contents, you can't really get a good grasp on exactly what they're learning. Some of it you can, but some of it sounds silly. And that's just the way that this author is. It's interesting. Very, very interesting. You'll learn things about other subjects in these books that are not just, that you wouldn't just find in a typical English curriculum. Like I learned things about the country of Australia right here for the first book that really wouldn't be part of a normal English curriculum, but it was interesting to learn, you know, so he keeps the curiosity going. So here's the first chapter of the second book, and you can just pause and read that. There's the your turn to play. So your child would now pull out his notebook and answer the question. This would be chapter 2. Here's the your turn to play, an example. And I do realize the your turn to plays are small. They're only, he generally sticks with, you know, they'll never be more than 10 questions, really. And that's 10 would be the most. Here we've got chapter 10. Because he does not believe in the typical drill and kill curriculum for children. He will continue, like if it's a concept that your child hasn't learned, as you go through this with your child, you will see how he brings things back around. You will see it revisited again in a later chapter. So it will jog the child's memory again. There's no need for the drill and kill. And I really like all of the Life of Fred English books and math books. Don't destroy the child's love of learning. You want to pique their curiosity as much as possible. The child has a natural ability that they always want to learn. They're learning from the day that they're born, and they enjoy it. They want to. They seek it out. They ask, why? And when you put them in public school, you slowly see that drain from them. They no longer have a joy of learning or wanting to learn. Sometimes you'll see children of a public school system just not care. Even if they wanted to know about something, they won't take the time to go look it up or to research it and to just get so deeply involved in it. So as homeschool parents, you really want to stay away from I'm not going to say all workbooks because they're not all that bad, but you want to stay away from a lot of them. We'll go to chapter 19 here. I believe this might be the last chapter. And on all the last chapters, it's just the end of the story. It says all these books will take you beyond what most high school graduates and many college English majors know. I would agree with that statement. Definitely.